Hey, welcome to the third episode of Battle for Democracy Dev Diary. So let's start with the first thing you probably noticed. The map slightly changed. I'm not talking about the colors, I'll talk about this later. I'm talking about the lakes and the countries. I finally implemented them. I also made different map modes. There are currently only two of them, but I will add more later. If you click on the top button in the bottom right corner, the map will change from state view to country view. If we click on the country, we get a small box displaying the country name. It's currently unfinished, but I will make it later. But you know what's more finished than country info? State info. If you go back to the state map mode and click on some state, we get this menu. It displays the state's name, image, how many electoral votes there are, the popularity of each party, GDP, and the state's legislature. As you can see, there are also two additional buttons. The first one is more population info. If you click this, it gets a more detailed view of the population. If you click on the second button, something more interesting appears. The state's lower and upper house. I worked on it for many hours, but here we have it. On the top you can see the upper house distribution of seats and on the bottom, well, lower house. It also displays a number indicating how many members it contains. But you could also see the 99% for the other party. First, let's start by addressing that the other party means minor parties. Think of libertarians on Green Party in real life. They don't have any chance of winning and they don't have a major impact on election results, but they still start. This is other party. But let us unpause the game now. As you can see in the top right corner, the time speed is set to 1. Let's set it to 5. You can use buttons there or just use 1 to 5 on your keyboard. When the month passed, the map changed. Let me introduce you to the polls. If we click, for example, on Washington, we can see that it's guaranteed to be a democratic state. There are no chances of losing it by Democrats. When the number of voters in the Democratic Party is higher than 10%, then on the second highest party there is no way that the Democratic Party could fail to win it. Let's look at Pennsylvania now. This state is light blue. That means it's likely democratic, but the polls could lie to us. The Democratic Party will likely win this election, but it's not guaranteed. And the third color is too close to call. This happens when the difference between the first party and the second highest party is less than 5%. In this state we cannot say who will win this election. Sadly there isn't a command for seeing the exact popularity, but I will make it later. But let's look at the two different things that I made. The first one is the Congress button. If we click it, we can see the Senate and the House of Representatives. Currently I just use current data, but this will soon change. If you click on the button on the right, the factions appear. Also, on the bottom you can see the scrollable menu that displays info about parties and the factions. The last thing is the party info. If we click our party image, we get this menu. The first thing is the large black button. It's the button that takes us into the focus tree view. Currently I haven't made anything on top of it, but this will have some images and the name of focus on top. Below it we can see the presidential candidate and his running mate. Currently they don't have their own portraits and the names are just to test how it renders, but we'll make proper images and names in the future. Under presidential candidates we can see the factions in our party and how many seats they are taking. The number in brackets is the full number of members. I'm thinking of changing it to the way I present it in Congress view, as I made this later than this menu. And on the bottom we can see the views of the party. You can see there are many different axes. Let's take a look at the religious scale, as it's easy to explain what this will do. If you have a scale set to the right, for example plus 60, our party will attract more Christians. But if you have scale set to minus 40, it will attract more atheists. But of course, the extremist ends of both left and the right stop bringing bonuses. Almost no Christians would want to live in Christian Taliban or atheists in Enver Hoxha, Albania. And that's all for this episode. I hope you liked it, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. Bye!